everyone, this is Kirei with another layout for Bramble Fox. And on this layout, I'm using a number of the new sets in the shop. The Best Mum Ever set, that also includes the Love You Perspective in that pretty pale pink, the Butterflies Spring set and the Spring Flowers set. So I've pulled out the new Prima Spring Abstract collection. It's really, really pretty with pinks and lemons and sort of peach colours with the sort of deeper navy and some lilacs. And I thought it worked perfectly with the Best Mum Ever perspective set. So I've got, as you can see there, the two perspectives already on the layout. So I'm going to use Best Mum Ever below my photo. And then I've popped the Love You perspective to the top left, sort of on the wreath. And at the moment, I'm just pulling out some of the matching pieces of ephemera and just working out what I'm going to pop where. I've pulled out the Spring Flowers set of perspectives and also the Butterflies Spring perspectives as well. I've just sort of placed them around the wreath, just sort of working out which ones I want to use and where. With the ephemera, you can see me here. I am just sort of fussy cutting around the white trim. I'm just taking it down a little bit. I find sometimes they're just quite wide and I don't like that. So I'm just trimming that off, but and I'll do that on also on the small little flowers as well that I've placed around the wreath. So that's all been done. And while I was off camera, I've also cut out the center of the wreath and I've stitched around the border with some silver thread. I thought that would work quite well because the paper itself has some embossed silver foil on it. So I just wanted to sort of add to that. So on the reverse of the paper, I'm just going to raise the backing with some foam pads. So I'm just popping those around the edge of the cut wreath. And then I'm just going to use a piece of, it's actually vanilla textured card in the center. Even though it's called vanilla, it sort of has almost peachy pink, very, very soft tone to it. It's very pretty. So I thought that would just take away because I didn't want it to be completely flat. So by doing this, I'm just adding a little bit more dimension to the layout. So I'm getting that's just stuck down. There we go. You can see the sort of tone there. So it just starts to create, as I say, that little bit of dimension. I've got some of the cut apart sharp cards from one of the 12 by 12 pattern papers, and I'm just using those to layer up behind my photo so that I create a sort of surround just to balance it against the background there. I'm just working out which of the other cards that I can use because I feel like I need something down on the bottom right as well. So just trying a couple of the different patterns that I can add and working out what looks best with the Best Mum Ever perspective set over it. So I'll get that one distressed as well, and then I can get that one stuck down. Now, I have to say with this layout, this came together really quickly. Normally, I probably have about 5 different process videos that I have to edit and pull together. And for this one, I had 2. I was very excited when I'd actually finished, and it just sort of all, worked for me. So, I mean, yeah, certainly I figure out what I'm doing beforehand, but it just sort of came together and it worked out quite well. So I'm pleased with that. I have a lovely photo of my mum and myself, and it was from last year in June when I finally got to go home to Australia to visit my family. I hadn't seen them for 3.5 years. Obviously, the pandemic made a big part of that, but yes, it had been quite a long time. So I had a lovely time spending, quality time with my mum, my dad, and my sister and her husband. So it was really, really lovely. So it was June, so it wasn't the summer, but we had a great time anyway. So they live just north of Sydney up on the Central Coast, and it was really nice. We just spent time, going around onto the beaches and walking, and yeah, it was great. Okay, so I'm getting the perspective stuck down, and what you'll see that I've just done there is because the perspective is sitting on the photo, the bottom part of it is slightly raised. So I actually just added a few little narrow strips of foam pads underneath that part, just so it sat a little better on my layout. And then I glued it down with the glossy accents, of course. And now you can see I'm just starting to actually attach the other elements. So I've added the butterfly on the top there from the Butterfly Spring set, and then I'm also adding the small spring flowers. I've got the pale pinks, there is a yellow one, and there's a little lilac one as well. I don't end up using the yellow one actually. It felt like it just stood out a little bit, I don't know, too much, so I didn't use it. And then I've also stuck down some of the small floral ephemera pieces that I'd fussy cut around the edges of. So I've just stuck those down as well. And when I stick ephemera down, I tend to just add a little bit of glue or tape on in the center. That way I can sort of curve the edges up and still get that dimension that I like, which is what I'm doing here as well. So nothing is ever really stuck flat when I'm doing a layout. So I'm just building the clusters up now around my photo. I've got a little phrase card in there that says, "You are my kind of wonderful." And then I've actually just sat that second lilac flower up on a little bit of foam pads as well. Just going to add in the word blessed, and that's going to be, I'm using foam pads as well on that again, just to create some dimension and layer that, and that pretty little flower sort of banner there along the bottom, that I'll pop that along, get that stuck down. So yeah, so really just building up the different clusters and elements that I want to add to the photo, as I say, using sort of foam pads to get that dimension that I like. So all the beautiful sets that I'm using are obviously available in the Bramble Fox shop. So just pop on over to bramblefox.co.uk where you can find all of these. They're really lovely perspectives. They really just add beautiful detail to your layouts. That's in silver. It looks it's funny, but it's actually silver, that little piece there of foil ephemera. And then I'm just looking where I'm going to add. I've got, oh, there's a little lilac piece I'm going to work out there. I've got the yellow flower up there, but I don't add it, definitely. I don't know if I've tried it already, but no, I decided I'm not going to pop it on. And then I think I'm almost done, other than adding some journaling to the bottom left. There we go. There's a close-up. When I went to take the photos, I then decided I was going to add some sequins and some of the little matching paper flowers that come with the Prima collection. Hope you've enjoyed watching my process video, and I will see you again in my next one. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye for now.